Nothing like a dreary Saturday alone in an apartment to do a vlog. um, so you probably have noticed I've not been wearing my glasses in these videos as of late, and that's because the reflection from the windows I found to be really distracting for myself as like an editor, and then like as a viewer. So I've been not wearing them because I would like the natural light. So, and I'd like for you to see my face and not just like laser eyes. So I have not fully fleshed out this vlog idea, but I knew that I needed to make one. But I wanted to also really quick give a shout out to my aunt who mailed me like an entire package of tea because of my last video. I mentioned that I like tea, so the tea that I'll be drinking in this week's video is I think it's lemon and ginger, but I just thought it was really cool that I got fan mail for the first time. And if anyone would like to mail me tea or really anything cool and useful, let me know. I'm always accepting of cool packages. I will admit, I feel extremely shy in front of the camera today, more than usual, but we're gonna power through. It has been a week. You know what I mean? It's been a week. There have been a lot of twists, turns, events, cool things, sad things, great things, not so great things. But everything is fine. Everything is like good. Everything is better because of everything that has happened. Are you catching my vibe? It's been one of those character building weeks. The ones where like you probably saw coming when it came to where you're at in life as like your own person. Still not making sense. Got it. Let me explain. Let's take a walk. I went to Longleaf School of the Arts, right? Which is an art school that at the time did not have like a visual arts or photography program. Well, visual arts, oh my goodness, yes we did. That's like the one program we had. Video program, so, or like Adobe, I meant like visual graphic arts. We didn't have a camera program, if you will. And I just got contacted, one of the like administrators at Longleaf, who I've known for a really long time. She's the mom of one of my friends, and her daughter graduated in the class above me, but we were in the arts program together. I did a lot of camera stuff before I got into film school. You know this because that's where these videos came from. It actually all started with an environmental science project, when the vlogs came about. So my first ever vlog before the first ever vlog was stop putting corn in my sugar in my corn. Stop putting sugar in my corn, I think was it, or corn in my sugar, I can't remember.
Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about cornstarch and corn syrups in food, and what types of foods they are in, and why that's probably not the best idea. But let's start with the basics first.
Was my first ever vlog, and so it actually started out as a science project, which just turned into something more. I started building my own film program and my own film curriculum, if you will, because I had a free period senior year, and I would just sit down and watch like Cinefix videos or just YouTube videos of movies while I painted. So tag teaming here, right? I just was cramming my head with movies and film information and photography information while I did visual art. Like, too much. Like, so much now, which sounds really bad, and I promise you I'm not bragging, but I'm sitting in my film classes right now, in all of them, I'm not kidding you, not taking notes, and I'm passing with, like, high grades. I self-taught myself back in high school to where I am now a junior/sophomore in college. It's a long story. And I'm not learning much of anything new. I know this is like very roundabout, but I, in this process, have stopped doing art. How did I get good at this? What was I doing the whole time? I was doing art. And with life, let's be real, just life, just to sum it all up and put it in a grocery bag, buy it and walk out, life, I stopped doing art over these past few months, and that's not cool. I think I mentioned that in the other video that like, oh, I've got my groove back, I'm doing art at that point, which was cool because I did one little sketch, but now I'm actually like doodling in my notebooks again. Memory lane part, that's what I really want to like, you know, get back to, is I was asked to do a video to support like my school, my like high school when it came to like the digital world and film and photography and stuff, and I'm like, oh, like I'm the representative, you know, representative, like a way to start that program just as like a PSA type thing, and that's really freaking cool. What, like, why me, you know, like that's just really neat. And so of course we're like on the phone, I'm like, how big do you want this? I can get you a production. I will put in moving graphics. And she's like, no, really, it's fine. And I wanted to connect some dots here. So this week has been not great, but it's probably been the best week I've had all semester. It's been the best week I've had in a long time, even though it started out so not great. You stop, you hit the wall, you look at yourself, and you're like, okay, here's how I get better and the things that need to change, and then you just go for it. There's no sense in dwelling, and you've been sitting in that for so long. Just get up and go. So, I'm not proud to say, but my camera did the unthinkable, and it died, and as much film school and you know, videos that you can make, there will always be an overpowering reality check from your camera battery dying. What I was getting at was more of like an identity situation. So the last group I worked with for the master shot, it wasn't working out. We could have communicated better. It kind of put me in a place where I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to be doing. And you're like, well, like it's one project. And I'm like, well, the first one wasn't fantastic either. And it's like, I have to learn to work with others. But the thing that gets me is it used to be fun, which makes sense. I think is for any creator to kind of have that sense of rejection even in themselves. Like that's really tough. And I was supposed to volunteer at a local film festival, pretty huge, here in Wilmington called Cuba this weekend today actually. I was a screen coordinator, which basically means that I would run the showroom and the crowd and the production room and the ambiance of the room and send out emails to the directors and the MCs and get everything organized and like run the show. I was basically the stage manager for a screening room or movie theater, if you will. That was a huge opportunity, and I passed it up. Tuesday I backed out last minute. And you're like, why? And I'm thinking in my head, because like I'm a photographer, I didn't sign a contract, so I can. I did it because I knew I hit a wall and I needed to not keep pushing. I knew my limitations. I knew that if I went, I would not enjoy it and I would not be putting my best foot forward to make connections, so it wouldn't be pointless. I know that I'm sure good would have come out of it, but it was two roads. I can go and potentially not enjoy my time and not make the best of it and not have a day to recoup and be dreading it kind of the whole time, because there was a lot involved that were interfering with my school stuff, to be honest. And over the past few weeks I've not been motivated to do my schoolwork, so you can imagine how that kind of started like snowballing, if you will. And I was like, okay, so I can go and do that, or I can back out and get back to where I need to be when it comes to filmmaking and my art. People, you know, everyone's got their own version of their priorities. I understand that. But I was like, hey, like I finally messaged like the coordinator who I was working with, and I was like, hey, like personal matters come up this weekend and I won't be able to work the festival. I hope next year, time willing, like the opportunity happens and I make like the most of it type thing. But today, weirdly enough, I'm very tired today. So like I know where I'm at. I'm kind of losing my momentum here just because it's like sad stuff. I'm sad that like I lost sight of like what I was doing. it's a thing that happens, and you have to get back to that. You have to get back to yourself. You have to get back to your identity and what makes you you, and that's so hard. So today, here I am making a film, and then I got contacted to make the film for my high school. Like, these dots kind of started like connecting, and I was like, imagine if I hadn't said no to that, I wouldn't have the opportunity to make something new and to bring a new, possibly new people and like new ways for another program to be put into high school. If I want to make connections, it's not just about going to a film festival and handing out business cards and hoping they contact you. And I know that's how that works. I know that's how it happens. Networking is everything. But like, coming from my own comfort space and just being like, hey, creators, like, welcome to like high school. It's kind of scary, but like, pick up a camera and you'll be fine. Like, that's really cool to be the voice of. Like, yeah, I was self-taught, so self-taught. I'm sitting in film school right now and I'm like, you can't lose your base. See, now I feel like I've lost momentum. Oh, maybe it was too soon to do this, but like, I'm glad that I am, because I want to be open, I want to be honest, and like, if anything in my life, I want to share the lessons I've learned with other people. All my videos, I feel like, are the same. I'm like, do your art, 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 do your art. Yeah, it's sad, but you know, it's a part of growing up. We all have our different paths, and we just gotta find our outlets, and this happens to be mine, which I really like, and I'm hoping to get more involved in over this semester in general. Especially if I do take the computer class online and it's as easy as I hope it is, I will definitely have more time to devote to this and my platform and my movies, which is all a part of the point and what I want to do with my life. So once again, I talked about in that other video where I was talking about school and how art, I think, is way more important, kind of at that thought process again. Aside from being kind of, I'm not bored with classes at all. I hate the starting out portion of anything. Any friendship, any relationship, any move. That's not kidding. I take that back. Intros to movies are very important. School and when to actually address how to take care of yourself is such a hard thing to balance. And like, the whole time I wasn't doing my art. Do your art. Do it. I'll admit, like, I'm looking into other options. I don't know what those options are. I'm just curious to know what's out there, because I'm not gonna settle. I'm just saying, I know that I need to be challenged more in order to thrive. And because of that, I've lost sight of like what I'm doing and where I'm going. And it's not because I have too much free time, but it's because nothing is honing in on my art.
Hopefully, I will have the time I need to dedicate to my art and my material and my movies. And that has been really hard for me to grasp, essentially, because I push myself probably more than I should, which I put myself in my own predicament, because I'm just that kind of person. With all of that said, my whole life, and I feel like the world in general, pushes very high for the academic level. I do not. I feel like there definitely is a place for that. However, I just know me. The only way I'm ever going to enjoy life is through art and making movies. When life gives you lemon, you have to make lemonade. Sometimes you have no choice but to make apple juice. For example, I want to go to art school. I'm at a community college. Fine. So I thought I would do one thing when really I'm doing another. And the one thing that I thought I was doing, for example, taking 15 credit hours, the lemonade. And like, one thing life gives you is college. So then you pick it and you got your lemonade stand or whatever. And then sometimes when you're in community college, or sometimes in life, even though you have, like, life gives you lemons and you make lemonade, sometimes it's not what you want, and you have to make the best of that situation. You have to make apple juice. And I'm probably going to cut this part out because I don't think that makes sense. I haven't really cultivated the coherence of it all, but sometimes when life gives you lemons and you have to make lemonade, it's apple juice. So I don't know where to frame that. Next semester, I gotta change something. It's not like I'm like, oh, next semester I'll do that. No, right now, today, I have sat down with this camera when I should be doing math work, but this has to come first. Like, if I'm gonna make anything out of it, I have to start doing it, like, now.
We, this past Thursday, we talked about cubism in my film class right before we watched an experimental film, which was, like, wacky as heck, but, like, I was so much more engaged with the talk of the cubism, even though I've known it probably as much as I've known the little bits into, like, things we've been learning about film. We've been learning a lot about film, but, like, talking about art history was more impactful to me than the stuff we'd been talking about, and that that too rocks my boat. Like I'm kind of like, well, I know I want to be a filmmaker and stuff, but like I feel like there's like some aspect of the art world where I'm like, well, maybe I want to be an art teacher, you know, like maybe I want to teach kids art, or maybe I want to teach photography or film. You know, there's like not necessarily like being a teacher, but there's something about the art world, the visual art world in art history that like I lost sight of. This past weekend at the thrift store, which is where I got this shirt, and by the way, can we all acknowledge that the collar's weird? The collar's weird, but I'm fine with that. Is I found this Renoir book, and it's just beautiful. How does he do that? Like, why did I stop like getting so like engraved and involved in art? And then I was like, well, probably because I graduated and like I don't have like art classes now. And I'm like, well, maybe I just need to pick up an art class and like I'll feel fine. But like even at Wake Tech I took painting, and like that was my jam. And like I'm sitting here and I've got all my sketchbooks behind me. I mean, they're just slammed. They're just slammed. And that doesn't even include the ones I still have back in Garner. Like, know what's important to you. Don't lose sight of your art, but like know what is important to you. The film festival, while it is important to the film world and like what I want to do in the future, having a revelation. I think that's what it is, but I'm having a revelation on camera. What's important to me, I guess, is my art, like my time in order to produce this stuff, whatever that form may be. I just think it's really cool to see what I've been doing since high school. I kind of stopped, well, I didn't kind of stop, I stopped doing the art and the filmmaking and the photography. Honestly, for lack of a better word, daydreaming. I just stopped daydreaming like these past few months. I don't know, it's like my brain, my headspace, my creative headspace just got so dry. I lost all my muses, and like, it's actually one reason I haven't been making these videos too much is I've been going back and forth a lot. I've been going home because I've been trying to get back to that creative headspace. Little did I know, but it was just so I could use it to make some art. And like I know I don't have that here yet. I don't have that here yet, but like I'm trying to like cross those bridges and build those gaps and like bring those muses from home and do them here. And then I know things will start blooming, but I think the move really like jarred that from me. Like I found so much of my identity myself back at home, and like everything around me and the people in my life and like what I was doing and the atmosphere and the temperature and the weather, and like here it's just, you know, it's so different, and like everything I'm doing is so different, and like those muses or those like creative juices were like, I'm not confident in this video, but I'm sure when it gets put together I'm gonna be like, you know what, I probably did the right thing regardless of how I'm feeling, you know, like feeling about this right now, because like I think it takes a lot to be sharing this with you guys, because it's extremely personal, and like, you know, that's like a hard thing to like give out, but like I'm glad that I'm taking the time now over a film festival to be sharing that and to be making this and to be like, you know what, I gotta know me, and I gotta be like, hey, sorry, I can't. And then to come here and then do this, and then to proceed in making a video for my high school to help other people and other little people with cameras to run around and start finding their passion in making art, which is really freaking cool. That's really freaking cool. I'm really tired. This is not caffeinated tea, but it's good tea. That's what matters. That's what counts. Good tea. Some good tea. I'm spilling tea. I really feel like I'm spilling tea, by the way, like personal tea. Really quick, that's what it was gonna be. So I went to a concert Thursday night. I went to 1/3 of a concert Thursday night. I thought Men I Trust, one of my favorite bands, was a headliner, and they're playing with Turnover and a lady named Renee. And I was like, oh, like the openers, I wanted to be there for Turnover, but the concert started at 8, and with like setup and stuff, you think it'll take about an hour and 15 minutes for each set, and you're like, oh, okay. And so we showed up a little late, so we probably would have missed like Turnover's like first few songs, which would have been okay, but like Turnover was great. They were the last band that played. We missed Men I Trust. That's what I'm getting at. But it was we're like, oh cool, like everyone's leaving, we get to like front now, I guess, like they're all taking smoke breaks. And we like walked up, and then the security guard was like, it's over. And we were like, wait, what do you mean? It's 11? It's only 11? You're kicking us out at 11? When you're like, what about Men I Trust? And you're like, they played. And I like walked up with this girl, and she's like, yeah, like all the bands played. And I was like, What? What do you mean? Like, Turnover was great. Like, I don't regret the experience at all. Like, concerts are my reset. That's another thing, too, that I'm relearning. I have got to start going to more concerts, because that is where, if there is anything where my muse does not run dry, it is a concert. Ooh, baby, I got videos. Only a few, because I was only there for like an hour and a half. But they didn't even do an encore, and the crowd was dead. So it wasn't, we didn't miss out on like a huge thing, but it was one of those things where it was really freaking funny, even though it could have been really upsetting. It just was really funny to only show up to 1/3 of a concert. Unintentionally. I don't know why I'm sharing that with you. I just think that was a funny thing that I wanted to. I'm not coherent. This is a good thing I denied the film festival, because I would have just been getting this. I would have been like, why is the movie not playing? I'm like, what do you mean it's not playing? Okay, I'm ending this now. We're gonna get rid of this. Okay. I almost said I love you guys, and I do. Thanks for watching. You guys remember that video I did, the hot mess? Oh man. Goodness gracious, she's back. Alright, bye guys.